Vishnu Gurudevo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So, dhatugalige in the dhatus given in the first chapter we have covered. So, two more dhatus before we go to the practice of translation, practice of the exercises, that is practicing translating the sentences. Two more dhatus which do not belong to the prathama gana, first conjugation. They belong to second conjugation. But they are, he thinks that they are most important, therefore he is covering. I feel one of them is most important, commonly used. Another one is not so common. Yet he thinks that these two dhatus, though belonging to second conjugation, second gana, are most useful and commonly. Therefore he is covering them too. So one is, you see, as. As means like bhavati, it is to be. Now this is second gana. As is the dhatu. It means same. As to be. Okay. As to be. For this for, just to remind, the gana, dhatus of first gana take a as their gana pratyaya. Second gana has no gana pratyaya. Therefore, if gana pratyaya is not there, then what does it mean? It implies that the purusha pratyayas are directly added to it. Isn't it? Ti is directly added. As plus ti. Asti. Then as plus si. Here, this sa gets dropped. Asi.
Asi.
As plus ti, this sa gets dropped.
Oh, okay. Okay.
As plus me means asmi. As plus ti, because there is no gana pratyaya, the purusha pratyayas are directly added. We are not deriving the entire table of present tense. We are only taking the singulars. Singulars of pratham purusha, madhyam purusha, uttam purusha. Third person, second person, first person. So, say as plus ti, asti. No change at all. Simple, it is straight away adding the ti. Asti means it is. Asti means he is, she is, it is. So, asi means you are. Asmi, I am. So, as means to be, toti means. So, asti word is popular, is well known in our Indian languages as astika. One who believes in asti is called astika. The ika word implies that one who is that.
Oh, okay.
Dhana is dhanika, like that.
Ika.
Karaka, like that. Astika. One who says asti is called astika. So asti is known that way. One who says nasti, asti you add the na, it becomes nasti. Nasti means it is not there. Asti is there. Nasti is not there.
Nastika.
Astika, nastika, same. So asi is tattvamasi, it is well known to us. Asi you are. Asmi, aham brahmasmi. Aham brahma asmi. I am Brahman. So asmi is I am. Asi is you are. Asti, he is, she is, it is. Okay. So asti, asi, asmi alone. Other plural forms and then vivachana Dvivachana, Bahuvachana Rupas, we will learn in the next chapters. The first chapter only we are covering the singular salam. Now coming to the Ad. Should I wipe it out now?
Sir.
The next comes Ad. This also belongs to second conjugation, second gana. Ad. To eat. Ad means to eat. So Ad also, Ad plus Ti. So Da changes to, Da is a soft consonant. Ta is a hard consonant. You know the soft and hard? Now I will tell you. Ka, kha, ga, gha, na, all those alphabets we know, consonants. Leave out the vowels. From the consonants, first two you take. Ka, kha, cha, cha, ta, tha, ta, tha, pa, pa. So the first two of each varga. That means in the vertical first two columns. Not this way, I mean the vertical, not horizontal. In vertical first two columns, that is ka, kha, ga, ga, cha, cha, ta. So this 5 plus 2, 10. Then sha, sha, sa. Sha, sha, sa. These three. So these three and these 10 letters. 10 plus 3, 13. These 13 are hard consonants, remaining are soft.
Okay. These 13 are
hard.
So Da is soft.
So Da comes under the soft one.
Soft. Okay.
So there is a rule for that again, Sandhi rule. I think we will cover that more complicated because the first chapter alone, before we learn few sentences, let us not go into them. General rule is Ad plus Ti. A rough rule, easy to remember, is Ad plus Ti. It is a second conjugation. So no Gana Pratyaya, directly added. Here, Da changes to Ta. That means soft followed by hard. Soft changes to hard. Hard followed by soft changes to soft. Means whatever is the following consonant, this consonant changes to that.
Soft plus hard changes to hard.
And followed by hard changes to hard, followed by soft changes to soft. Whatever is the following, it changes to that. So Da changes to Ta. Isn't it? Ta is a hard. So this Da changes to Ta. Ad plus Ti, what happened? Atti. There is a little more minute rule is there, but I am just giving a rough rule to remember. And later, I'll tell you in 1 or 2 days later, so that you, after you become little more familiar with this thing. Atti. Then At plus Si. Atsi. Da changes to Sa because size. This Sa is a hard consonant. Why hard?
Like it
Sha,
doesn't
sha,
come
sa.
in that.
Sha, sha, sa.
Sha, sa.
It comes under Sa. So it is hard. So At plus Si, Atsi.
Ta, where is it? Ad plus Si, Atsi. Ta.
Which Ta?
Atsi.
Atsi, Ta, Sa, idhar, Ta, idhar, here. I've written Ta.
But how did it come out?
What does it happen to it? Da followed by hard, this changes to hard. Then Da changes to Ta.
Oh, it changes to Ta.
But how do you get this second Ta?
Like hard consonant.
Haudappa, one Ta, is there two Ta? Are there two Tas in it? This one Ta is already there, Ti. Then where do you get the another Ta?
Oh, Da changes to Ta. Okay.
That's what I told.
Okay.
Da changes to Sa, this Ta. When I am telling you, don't listen. This Da changes to Ta. I think, should I write that also? Okay, hereafter I'll write that also. I thought orally telling is enough. Now I say, this Da changes to, according to rule, Da changes to Ta. Now I'll put it to Ta. Okay. Now you understand. Da changes to Ta. Now similarly, again do the same thing. Da changes to Ta. Atsi.
Atsi. Sorry.
The da change it to ta.
Ta. Okay.
Ta is a hard consonant. Da followed by hard consonant. Da changes to ta. So this is a change to ta. One ta is already there. Ta serkundu to join and become double ta.
Okay.
So atti. Then ad followed by sorry, illi C this is. Ad followed by C. Sa is again a hard consonant. Therefore, da changes to ta. Look at this. Da changes to ta. So then at plus C. Atsi. Then ad plus me.
Atmi.
Ma is hard or soft?
Ma is hard.
Ma is harder.
Sorry, ma is soft. Remaining soft.
Then da is?
Da is soft.
Then what will it change to?
Ta. Da changes to ta.
Why? Why should it change? Only when it is followed by hard. When you say ma is soft, why does it have to change? You are unable to understand.
One second.
What should I write then? Should I wipe out all these things and write?
No, you continue. Like you explain, I will understand.
See the ka, kha, and then cha, cha, ta, tha, ta, tha, then pa, then sha, sha, sa.
These are
hard. Then other than this sa, then is ma. So a consonant. Look at this. Followed by hard. Changes to hard.
Okay.
Hard means what? Which hard? Of the same varga.
Of the same varga.
Da belongs to which varga? Ta, tha, da, da, na. It belongs to ta varga. Therefore, it changes to its own varga's hard.
Okay.
So, da changes to its own. Da is alpa prana, mahaprana.
Alpa prana.
So, it will change to alpa prana of the same varga. So, ta. Ta is its corresponding hard. Therefore, da changes to ta because it belongs to same varga.
Okay.
And da is soft alpa prana. Ta is alpa prana. If it were dha, it would have changed to tha. But da is a soft consonant followed by hard. According to the hard, da changes to hard. Idagallappa. I found it. I think it won't work. I think hereafter I will not record. Because we don't have any facility to record at all. ಯಾರು ಲೂಸ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ? ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಅಮ್ಮಯ್ಯ. We need so many facilities to record. What do we have? Only Kadu people we live like here, like forest people. Because we are against all facility for others. They want us to live like animals only. So we live like animals only. Anyway, when Indians want to go back to animal life, what can we do? Da is a soft consonant. Why soft? Because we have already categorized it belongs to this remaining. What does it say? Ga, ghanga is soft. Ja, jhanya. And then da, dhana. Da, dhana. Then ba, bhama. Then yara, lava. They are all soft consonant. So da comes under the second category. It is followed by ta. Ta is here.
Hard.
So this da has to change to hard, corresponding hard alone.
Same varga, alpa prana.
Corresponding means in what sense corresponding? Belonging to the same varga. If alpa prana, mahaprana to mahaprana. And also belonging to the same varga. So da belongs to the ta, tha, da, dhana, ta varga. So its corresponding letter nearest is ta. Therefore da changes to ta. When ad becomes at, ti is already there. See, it is coming. Now what happened? At plus ti, atti. Now the coming to the ad plus si. Ad is the dhatu. Si is the purusha pratyaya. But it is a sa because sha sha sa. In these things it is a hard consonant. So da changes to what? Same varga. Corresponding letter. Corresponding means da belongs to same tavarga. We have already told before. So it corresponding is ta alone is the nearest letter. So da changes to ta. Therefore at plus si, at si. Then ad plus mi. Mi is a soft consonant. It comes under this group. That's why I told if board is book, we write it and then show everything here alone. Da is this area. So da is again soft only. So when both are soft, this rule, how does it apply? Okay. So it changes according to the following letter. Following is soft, it is already soft. So this rule doesn't apply here because that condition doesn't apply. The condition applies, then the rule applies. Rule means the change. The change. So in that condition, this change takes place. The condition itself doesn't obtain, then the change doesn't take place. So it's already soft, this is soft. Soft remains soft. See, followed by soft remains soft. So it remains the same. Ad plus mi, admi. It remains admi only. Shall I tell you an interesting thing? I was in Rishikesh. Some brahmacharis were coming from different places. All different places, all Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, all over different places. So even North Indians. So there were some brahmacharis from Kerala also. A new brahmachari came. Then I started teaching. First day alone I told, it's easy to learn because many of the, if you know any one of the Indian languages, in our mother tongue there are plenty of Sanskrit words. Sometimes the verb is not there, at least the noun derivative, the derived noun will be present. Then you can relate to it and easily understand, remember the meaning and understand. So I explain, you can see, or I myself should explain that this is the noun form, and you will see that form somewhere you find in our mother tongue. As this admi came, I told atsi, ad means to eat, I told. Ad is eat. So from the ad, noun is derived, ad plus followed by na, da changes to nasal. See, one consonant followed by nasal changes to nasal. That is again rule. So da followed by na, da changes to another na, isn't it? Ad plus na, da changes to na only. It becomes anna. Adyate iti annam, Taittiriya also says. Ad means to eat. What is eaten is annam. Adyate iti annam, like that. Atta is eater. That Upanishad says. Atta is eater. Annam is eaten. So that eater comes from the ad. Ad. So that I told this way. Annam form is familiar to us. Ad is unknown to us. Annam is a noun derivative. What is eaten. So if you split it, ad plus na. So this da has changed to another na. One na is already there. Annam. So in annam split it, ad plus na. Da has changed. So ad eating is there already in it. So this way, when as I told this, and then come to the admi, and he asked Swamiji, Shabana Azmi is there? Is Admi that Shabana Azmi? He is asking that. You understand? There is Shabana Azmi. So this Admi, is Admi related to that Azmi, Shabana Azmi? I told Sanskrit words are existing in our mother tongue. He brings a Shabana Azmi. Shabana Azmi, Muslim, or name is some Persian or Arabic. How can this word be related to as Persian or Arabic? This is the doubt, he got it. My God, I told anything I tell people only, I thought I should help the people to understand, see, relate the Sanskrit words into your mother tongue so that you can remember easily. And more I explain, more they get confused, more they misunderstand. Then I told the only blind method is memorize. Atti, atsi, admi, just memorize it. Asti, asi, tattvamasi, helabeda. Don't tell tattvamasi. Aham brahmasmi, don't tell. Just asmi, asmi, me, I am, asmi, I am. Just memorize, blindly memorize it. Asi, you are, asi, you are, asi, you are. Just blindly memorize. Asti, he is, she is, it is, that's all. Asti, astika, how, don't tell that. If I more give explanation, more they get confused, more they create problem to me. Then I understood, my God, the explanation which I give, probably it helps them. but they get more confused. Admi is related to Ajmi. Doesn't he know Shabana? Azmi is a Shabana name itself, is a Urdu name, Muslim name. And he says Admi is related to Shabana Azmi. This is the mind we have. Hindus are very strange fellows. So these two forms, other remaining forms, and Dvivachana, Bahuvachana will cover in the next chapters.
Okay.
So here, some verbs of the Prathama Gana are taught, and two verbs, only two verbs of the second Gana, Dvitiya Gana or second Gana, are taught because he feels, the author feels that they are most, of course, Asti is common, mostly useful it is all. Asti is a common because it is for anything easy you have to use Asti. So Asti is necessary to teach in the beginning, it is good. But Admi is not that required. Instead of Admi, I prefer, in Hindi also it is there, in Sanskrit also. Khadru, Bhakshane, Khad. Khad means to eat. Kha, da. Khad, to eat. It is a Prathama Gana. Therefore, for Prathama Gana, add the A. Khadati, khadati. That's all, it is easy. Khadati. Khata hai. Hindi, likhata hai. It becomes very easy. Khadati. So here no guna desha because final is consonant. Pre-final long vowel. So no, short vowel it should be. I see either final or penultimate short. So it is neither. Therefore directly khadati. Khadati means he eats. Khadati, khadasi, khadami. If atti is difficult because atti keeps on changing the forms, khadati becomes easy. Saha khadat. And khadati, Ramaha khadati, khadami, like that. Khadati, khadami, it becomes easy to remember. Okay, that's not a part of our chapter, just an additional information. Now I think the vocabulary we have covered, grammar we have covered. Now directly going for exercises. Exercises is translating is your job. I mean that your homework. I don't have to teach it.
Except
okay.
Second route.
Okay. Do it. Read out.
Vadami, I speak. Rakshasi, you protect. Patati, he falls. Bodhasi, you understand.
Okay.
Sarasi, you move. Bodhami, Nayami, I lead or I carry.
Okay. I take with I carry. Okay. I lead.
I take with Vasasi, you dwell.
Okay.
Sarami, I move. Gachati, he goes.
Okay.
Nayati, you lead or you take with, you carry.
Okay.
Bodhami, I understand. Bhavati.
Nayati, what did you say? Nayati.
Oh, Nayati. Sorry.
After Gachati, before Bodhami.
He leads.
He or she leads. He or she takes.
Sorry.
That's what I was wondering.
He leads.
Bodhami.
Bodhami, I understand.
Okay.
Bhavati, he becomes or
he is, she is.
She is.
Is also. Is and becoming too. Is or becomes.
Today new word for to be or us.
Yeah, another word. Both are same. Both are same. Means two different words, same meaning.
Okay.
So Bhavati is, he is or she is. Then Atti, Asti, today we have learned. So Admi, Atti, Asti, three words we have learned today. Now you see them. Now based upon the today's knowledge, you can translate it. One is Admi.
One is
first came Admi. After Gachati. In the book.
Swamiji. Admi. Admi, I eat.
I ate, okay.
I eat.
Next Atti.
Atti.
Recognize the
you are he.
Okay, you tell. After you tell, I'll speak.
Swamiji, Atti. Swamiji, Atti, he eats.
Okay. Correct.
Swamiji, Asti, he becomes, he is or she is.
That's all, correct. So few more roots we'll cover. And the next you have to translate from English to Sanskrit.
This one is English to Sanskrit.
Sanskrit to English we have done, and a few more words, sentences are given, the English to Sanskrit. So for that, the dhatus we have learnt, and a few more dhatus. All these put together, you will have a practice of singular salo, only tisi me. Okay. Now the few more words, few more first conjugation he has given. You see, char, char to go and to walk. Because chara is the next dhatu, is again prathama gana. Char plus a plus ti. Charat meaning is to go or to walk. So charati form is familiar to us in charati, sancharati, acharati. If you add prefixes to it, sanchara, achara, charati, sancharati, vicharati, vichara, sancharati, vicharati, acharati, all these things come from this alone. Charati andre acharisuvodu, sancharati sanchara maduvodu, ella kade odaduvodu. I mean sanchara means going around, that here and there, just wandering. Then vicharati also little going around all over here. So here charati simply means to go or walk. But in Panini's way, Panini gives two meanings it. Chara gati bhakshanayo, to go means to walk and go, and also eating. Chara gati bhakshanayo. Panini gives two meanings. Chara gati bhakshanayo.
Gati and bhakshana.
Gati going, bhakshana eating. Now, we found the examples for gamana, we know it. Now we learnt the examples. I mean usage. Examples means we learnt the usage of going. Because charati, sancharati, vicharati, we have learnt it. Charati means he goes. He walks or he goes. Then bhakshana for eating, where is it? Charati means, what do you say, appa? Charati, Bani. What is it? Oh, okay. Put more water today, little more liquid early. Okay. Bhakshana. I am not able to recall. I think I thought I remembered it. Again I forgot. Charagati bhakshanayo. Charati. Okay, when I remember I'll tell you. The example I am not able to remember. Charati. In Hindi they use it. Ghas charta hai. An animal is eating grass. Meyuttade. Charati means simply, not simply eating. Meyuttade. An animal grazing, not eating, grazing. You see, Gai ghas charta hai. In Hindi they call it. Ghas charta hai means it is grazing. Not eating, but grazing meaning. In the sense of grazing meaning. The animal grazes. So charati in that sense there. Chara, they call it. Chara means that grass. So the grass which an animal grazes is called chara. Chara means that grass. And ghas charta hai. Charta hai means it grazes the grass. So in that sense in Hindi it is used. But I think in our languages we don't find it. Only charati, sanchara, sancharati, vicharati, acharati alone is there. The next word go to that. So form, let us see, charati. Charati, charasi, charami. Aham charami, acharami, achara, sanchara, vichara. Acharati. She practices, he practices. Acharati. Follows. Practices or follows. Charasi, you move around. You move around or go around. Then aham charami, I go. Then jiva. Jiva is to live. To live, jiva. For here also, final vowel. Final is not vowel, consonant. Pre-final is a, which is already guna. So charati is over. So that rule already applied. So we don't need it. Note it. No need to apply. Then what is that? Jiva.
Jiva.
Look at the jiva. Jiva, what is the final or the penultimate?
Penultimate E.
Final is va, consonant.
Consonant. Penultimate E.
E is short or long?
Long. E.
So does rule apply? So jiva plus a plus ti. Jivati. Jivati andre jeevisuvadu, to be alive. To live or to be alive?
He lives.
He lives. He lives, he is alive. He lives or he is alive, according to the context we have to slightly change it. So jivati, jivasi, aham jivami. I live, I am living. Jivami, jivasi, jivati. Okay, next. Tyaj.
Tyaj.
Tyaja means tyaga. Tyajati means tyaga karta hai. Tyaja changes to tyaj. Tyajati, he gives up. So tyaja plus tyaja is like chara only. So no change. A plus ti. Tyajati. Tyajati, tyajasi, tyajami. Tyajati, he gives, she gives up. Gives up only? Abandon. Okay, abandon. Giving up same. Tyajati, tyagam karoti. Then tyajasi, you give up. Tyajami, I give up. Give up or abandon. Next one more. Daha. Daha is again like this alone. There is no guna necessary. Daha plus a plus ti, dahati. Daha, how does it come? Daha is burning. Dahanam. Dahisu in Kannada, same thing. Dagdha. Dagdha means burnt. Daha changes to dagdha by certain grammatical rules. Dagdha, dahya, dahana, dahisu, dahana samskara. All this comes from daha. So daha. So therefore dahati, dahasi, dahami. In daha also people say daha. Daha means what do you call it? Bayarke. Vaha means it's a burning inside. Burning inside. So daha. Daha, like that. So we dahati, dahasi, dahami. Correct. Dahati, he burns, she burns, it burns. Or dahasi, you burn. Dahami, I burn. Okay. Daha is learned now. Daha bhasmi karane, Paninis hesar. Daha bhasmi karane, Paninis. Okay. Now next, nama. Nama prahvi bhave shabde cha. To bow, to salute. Nam. Nam, same like a chara alone. A plus ti, namati. Namati means he salutes. Or he bends down. Bow means bending also. Bow means bending or doing namaskara. So namati, namasi, namami. Namami we find familiar. Namami, namati. Yeah, this is familiar, well known to us. I think all Indians know these words. Namati, namami, namami. Namami in esto shloka. It comes in many shlokas. So it not only namaskara, but simple bending also we use it. Namati, bowing, bending also. Therefore, namya we call it. Namya means it is what can be bent easily, soft and bent. Namya. So that namya, what can be easily bent. I think nama, where does it come? I think it may come some other place. Anyway, when it comes, we'll tell you more usages. We only just started first chapter alone. More and more will come. From nama alone, pranama also comes. Namaha, namo namaha, namaha pranamaha, namaha pranamaha. All that comes from it. Namaskaraha, namaha, namaha, namaskaraha, namati, namami. All this comes from the same. Okay. Then last word is pacha. Pachashpake nama prahvi bhave. Okay. Pacha annudu paka. Paka means cooking. Pach, to cook and digest. To cook and as well as digest, both meanings. Cook means cooking and digesting. So pacha, like charati only, pach plus a plus ti, pachati. Pachati, pachasi, pachami. Pachati, he cooks. Pachasi, you cook. She cooks better. He cooks, she cooks, same thing. Pachami, I cook. Okay. So pachanam we call it. Pachan nahi hota hai, in Hindi we call it pachanam. Pachanam means digestion and cooking, both of itself. From pacha alone comes pakwa. Pach, cha changes to ka. Pacha alone becomes pakwa. Apakwa, pakwa, pachana. I think other forms, pacha, vipachana, illa, it's not there. I think this much alone. Now we learned so many rules. Now here, you should be able to recall, now hereafter, translating from Sanskrit to English is easy. At every end of every chapter, he gives some sentences for translating from Sanskrit to English and then some from English to Sanskrit. So, from Sanskrit to English is easy because as the Sanskrit word comes, you can remember the meaning. But when English comes, remembering the Sanskrit becomes difficult. So therefore, the same verbs you practice like this. Like this, char to go to walk. When I ask you to go to walk, what is the word used? For going, gachati, one word we have learnt. Here is one more word we have learnt. Gachati and walks. Goes and walks. Go and walk, one is gacha, another is char. When I give the English word, you should be able to recall the Sanskrit root also. For giving up, abandon. Giving up. Tyajati. Live, I am living or alive. Live. Jiva. Cook. Pacha, like that. So, to salute. Nama. Root is nam. To salute, root is nam. To burn, daha. Like this. To eat. To eat. Ad, correct. Ad. To be, two are there.
To be, to bhava.
And asti. As. Bhu and as. As, both are there. So like that. To speak.
To speak what? Protect. Raksha.
Like Raksha. Then to understand, to know. Bodha. To lead. Naya. Fall.
Pata.
To fall, pata. Okay, like that. To dwell. Vasati. Then to move. Sarati. Srusara. Like this. From the English. Now, you see, I'm just to give you, I won't do everyday practice like this. Only one day only I did it. Now, remaining you have to do homework at home. All this vocabulary, because more and more vocabulary, first day is okay. More and more as you proceed, there will be plenty of vocabulary. And after 5 chapters, people will start forgetting everything. Because I have experienced students. Earlier chapters, vocabulary they don't memorize. Memorize means at least the meanings they won't remember. After 5 chapters, vocabulary becomes piled up. Then none of them they know. They say, where does it exist? Where does it exist? They look for it. Again they say, I say earlier vocabulary you must memorize. At least this much you remember. When I give the English word, able to recall the Sanskrit word. Sanskrit root. When I give the Sanskrit word, a few times, if you repeat 4, 5 times, 10 times, they come. What is that? It is easy. It is easy. So, okay, just I'll give you example. One more thing here to tell. Singulars we are using. In olden days, in olden English, so he is okay. He uses old English. For go, he says, goest.
Okay.
Isn't it? So, because that old English. In old English, all are not same. Everything is different.
Goest.
Then for this, no, goest is a singular.
The same. G-O-E-S-T. Goest.
No, goest is, sorry. Goest is second person. I think goeth, I think something, goeth, something like that he uses. For has, he says hath. Hath, that old English. So, third person he uses, these days we call it as a poetic English. Old poetic English. For second person, he uses goest and calls it thou. Thou goest. And I go, it is easy. Now we use he goes, that is the only thing. For you go, all are same. Now, but in plural is okay. In plural, all are same. But in singular, there was different. Third person was different, second person was different, first person. So, to simplify the language, they removed all of them and they made it much simpler. So, but here, he uses the word. But we don't use your language because since it is gone, when he uses goest, you understand it and you translate into Sanskrit. But when you translate, you have to translate it. Use our way alone, you go. You use our modern English alone. Don't go by you. If you start using this thing and you, because for not knowing that forms, verbal forms, you keep on making mistakes, then I keep on correcting. I have to teach you English now. We are not teaching English here, we are teaching Sanskrit alone. Therefore, when he uses, it is easy to learn. You can recognize. You can recognize. One more thing, he puts these words in the bracket. Isn't it? Because we have not learned these pronouns. Now don't use them for somewhere from other book and ask somebody and start using the pronouns. Because purpose is we have to learn these ending Purusha Pratyayas. Therefore, from the Purusha Pratyaya, recognize who is the person. You write it, whether you write in bracket or not, okay, when you write it, these persons you can write. But in Sanskrit, put only directly this thing. Don't you put the pronouns, Sanskrit pronouns at the moment, because we have not yet learned. When we learn, I've seen the people, what they have not learned, somewhere from that mother tongue, somewhere they bring it some wrong word, because you don't know whether it is singular number, plural number, masculine or feminine, you use some letter somewhere in the way for it. I say, have you learnt it? I have not learnt, but I am using it. Is it wrong? They ask me. When I teach you its gender, at form, and how to change, etc. Then you pick up one word and you don't know how to use it, you use wrongly. Why do you use some other word which you have not learnt it? Art, is, yeah. So even that also same. Thou art like this. See, he is. He is, I don't know what they call it. He is, I don't know what they call it. It is art. And I am. Like that they use it. He is, they call?
Is only.
No, for he uses something. Okay.
He only.
He is.
He was. He wrote he only.
No, that's okay. But is, for is I am telling. I think is only. Is art am. That was the old English. Now this art you change it. This you put it are. That's all. Okay. Now first chapter is complete. You translate them. In the second chapter, first day alone will be too heavy. So we'll go gradually. Now I think time is 10 minutes. We have a time, but then we'll close it for today. Tomorrow in the second chapter, we are covering sixth conjugation, fourth conjugation, fourth gana and shashta gana, fourth gana, shashta gana, as well as plurals. Now practice the singulars first. Tisimi. Let the tisimi become very thorough, and the verbs, all the dhatus, become very familiar. Then once you did it, then we will cover some more dhatus. These dhatus, one good thing about it is, previous dhatus which I have learnt in the previous chapter, he will never skip them, totally leave them. Again and again he keeps using in the later chapter, so that you will not forget. So in the next chapter, he will use this chapter's dhatus and also adds few more. And in the practice, he gives some of them, some that, some this. All together he uses. Then plurals. Second chapter will cover only plurals. Third chapter will cover only duals, dvivachana. Then the fourth chapter he will cover all ekavachana, dvivachana, bahuvachana, all put together. Then that time I could see the people making mistakes. When each one said they separately do it. But when you combine them, for singular they put bahuvachana, dvivachana, all mix up. Then you have to learn. That's why each chapter you learn thoroughly. Next chapter becomes easy. If you skip it, it becomes difficult. Therefore, you repeat them few times, verb as well as meanings, and then the translate. So we'll see the tomorrow plural form. If anything else is there, ask. Otherwise, we will close it to today's class. Little grammar rules also we will tell. I think after covering the first chapter, then I think 4 chapters we cover. And then the 5th chapter when begins, there I will start telling the more grammar rules, sandhi and all. Because if beginning it will be too heavy and uncomfortable. When we use in the sentences, it becomes easy and understandable. Then it is not boring. Rules are meant for using in the sentence. Grammar rules, particularly these sandhi rules. Without using in the sentence, keep on learning as a grammar principle alone, it looks too boring. Therefore, when we start using the sentences, from the 5th chapter onwards, we will be start using sentences. Sentences start. First 4 alone, he gives the verbs. First familiarizes these persons. The ending, tisimi, anti, those things should be familiarized. Once that is familiarized, then he starts sentences. Then you enjoy the grammar as well as the sentences. 5th chapter to 9th or 10th chapter. By the time you finish the 10th chapter, you get the basic sentences. It becomes so easy, you will be able to do any sentence easily. sentence becomes very easy. That's why his method is very systematic and very nice. Okay, we'll start. Om. Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om Tat Sat.